DKM is live back on the 12th of July in the capital of our brilliant country, London, England. And I am joined by two of the biggest names on the card, the mighty Peltsman versus the Haymaker, HAMISHTV. Boys, how are we doing? Firstly, Peltsman, let's go to you. How are you feeling? You've just had a session in. How's all
Yeah,
the training going so far?
yeah, it was a hard session today. Like the weather, oh, it was blasting down, and it must have been, I don't know, like 28 degrees in there. So we put in a lot of hard work. There's things that we've been working on today for the fight. In previous weeks, obviously, we didn't know we was going to be facing Hamish, but we've been working towards having a fight anyway, doing the stuff that you do, strength and conditioning, working pads, sparring, all the good stuff, really getting that stamina up and ready. But today we was, fine tuning what we're going to do for the fight. Obviously, we've got only 3 weeks to it now. So yeah, that's been me today. But mate, I was sweating when I come out of there.
Yeah. So obviously from that information, I'm assuming there was like a original opponent in play. So what type of style was this opponent for? Were you training for before Hamish? Was it like a counter puncher, an onslaught type of fighter?
You know what? It's hard to say. There was mixed training because there was mixed opponents along the way. There was potential names thrown in, people that said no, people that said yes, then no, people that didn't want to do it because they thought they were, you know, leveling up and they didn't want to fight someone like me, which I found funny. But it's interesting. And you know what? I think at the end of that, the fact that we didn't go with them opponents. We got a better opponent in Hamish. He's somebody that I respect a lot. So the training was mixed before, but now it's fine tuned to fight Hamish.
Yeah, I get that. Hamish, everywhere that me and you seem to link up, brother, you always come away with victory because the two times I've announced you, you've come out with a win. And
Correct.
so now we're going to be at the same event. Unfortunately, I cannot announce you out, but I'm going to be there supporting both of you because it's going to be a great fight. Tell me how it has been feeling after your previous win and you jumped straight back in. No real rest, just straight back into camp.
Well, one thing I'd said to myself earlier, well, I didn't say to myself, I was on TikTok this morning, and you know that audio where it's like, you're getting too comfortable, champ, you're getting too comfortable, it's time to go to work, you've reached your goal, but there's another goal. That was literally my mindset this morning. I've reached my goal, but now there's a bigger goal on the table. So I got straight to the gym earlier. Been on my bike all day. I biked to work, even got told I wasn't even working today, so I biked home. So I got a bike ride done. Went to the gym. It was a solo session today. I'm at my boxing gym tomorrow. Just did a bit of bag work. Just a bit, like Peltsman said, a bit of strength and conditioning. Tomorrow, hoping to do some pad work and some sparring. Um, yeah, I just got to not get comfortable. I've got to just up the intensity really. Things are only gonna get bigger from now on. So yeah, just got to up the intensity and keep working hard and keep punching. That's basically the most I can say, really. Yeah.
Obviously, with the point of keep punching, obviously you want to try and get every opponent a better standard than the last. Would you say Peltzman is probably the best standard of opponent that you have faced in your career so far?
Yeah, definitely. Certainly a big name. Um, good recognition. Good repetition as well. Um, it's going to be a big fight. It's on a big show. So yeah, well, each fight I get, really, I treat them as like the biggest fight. So like my last fight with Leon, that was my biggest fight. My fight before that with Braveheart, that was my biggest fight. Each fight onwards, it tends to be my biggest fight yet. So, and I don't really want to like downgrade from there. Really, I don't want like these little easy fights in between. These little cherry picking fights. Like I've said it before, I say it again. I don't want to be known as someone who cherry picks fights, which I know is not the case, but I just want to say it anyway. I like the repetition that I have, that I fight tough people. I've got a tough resume, and I like that. I want to keep it that way. So, yeah, Peltzman he's a tough guy, tough geezer, unit machine. So am I. So yeah, it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait.
Just calling it now, fans. I'm going to nickname Hamish the Derek Chisora of our scene now because he just takes good fights and he just.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, it's a big honor. Like, it's one of the biggest British boxers, which then leads into my next bit, like heroes-wise, boys. Obviously, Peltz, you have started the journey of boxing due to mental health, and you've loved it ever since. And by the way, massive congrats for your win last year in July, and now you're coming back again. Massive congrats for that.
Thank you, man.
But when you started, yeah, of course. But when you started watching boxing, were there like certain individuals or certain fighters that you want to try to not copy, but take knowledge and aspects from them and put it into your game?
Yeah, I mean, like, even though I really only got into boxing like recently in the last 2 years with the Misfit stuff, prior to that, I had been watching boxing. You know, one of my favourite fighters ever, a bit cliche, but Floyd Mayweather, he just makes other fighters look like babies in the ring. Like, with his defence and his skill level, it's just insane. So there are fighters that I've looked up to over the years, even like David Haye. David Haye was someone I used to watch very, very closely, and I used to rate him a lot. And it's funny with boxing because as the years go by, your opinion changes on fighters, like from the paths they take and the things they may say. But like I said, yeah, I think it's hard to really pinpoint who I'd want to be like. I try to take a leaf out of everybody's book when I'm watching boxing. So, yeah, I think for me, it was probably like David Haye growing up and Floyd Mayweather. And then in recent times, I've obviously loved Tyson Fury, but, you know, he's now, like, for me, he's tarnished himself a bit with some of the things he says, and Usyk has proved himself to be an insane champion. I've got so much respect for Usyk. But yeah, they were some of the names I would have watched growing up. Even Ricky Hatton, that's one. Ricky Hatton against Floyd Mayweather, I stayed up to watch that like 4 a.m. before I played, and I had to go play a football match after it. I didn't get no sleep, and that was one of the most exciting times that I ever experienced with boxing. And I think that there for me really ascended my love for the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, I can 100% agree to that. Hamish, what about you? Because I want to ask the same thing, because obviously you were involved in this scene in more ways than one. Like, for those of you who don't know, you should definitely go and subscribe to this man's YouTube and also follow him on all social media for the brilliant interviews he does. Because I've seen you interview like Ezra Taylor. I've seen you interview possibly one of my favorite heavyweights up and coming in the scene at the moment, which is David Adelaide. So do you feel like when you're doing the other side of boxing, do you feel like you absorb knowledge when you hear fighters speak in front of you, whether they're from Misfits or they're from the pro game?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a million pro boxers out there, and it's great to go down to events and see all the new faces, all the faces that are, because obviously I'm still getting new to pro boxing, getting into it. Like, I wasn't always a boxing fan growing up. Like, as a kid in school, I didn't even think about boxing or anything like that. It wasn't really a thing that crossed my mind until I left school. So when I go and see these fighters and I go to a pro boxing event and I'll watch them fight, or I'll watch fight and I go, you know what? I'll keep my eye on them. So, you know, now like I say, I interviewed David Adelaide. I've been keeping eyes on his most recent fights, and all the people I've interviewed, well, Ezra Taylor and all that. It's good just to watch their fights, and there's not really a specific boxer that I'd say inspires me. I feel like everyone inspires me. Watching all these big dogs go and do what they do, knocking people out, or just being a decent boxer in general doesn't mean you have to knock them out. They're all inspiring to me, and it's great to go down and learn who these new faces are in the game, and yeah, just take a page out of each of their books, basically.
Yeah, try and like be like a boxing sponge, absorb all information that's either given to you or shown to you. And I can probably say for both of you, that's probably it, because you're so early in your careers. I want to try a little interaction, little game, boys. Okay, so I'm going to say basically an attribute around your boxing. So maybe like, for example, power, stamina, speed, cardio, ring IQ. You have to describe it in one word, but the person across from you can't say the same thing. So basically, it's a little way of people understanding you without saying as much. So it's a little bit of a mind thinker, this one. So I'll ask you the same one, and then obviously you need to think of a word for it. So let's start off nice and easy. Speed. Pelts, you first.
Lightning.
Nice. That's a good one. I like that. That's giving me loads of ideas for it. Hamish?
Can you say names of people?
No. So basically, I'm giving an attribute, so like power, speed, strength, stamina, cardio, ring IQ, cutting off the ring. You have to describe it how you are assessed in these things. So Pelt said for his speed was lightning. So what's your speed like?
Supersonic.
I mean, that's 2 words, but I'll give it you. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I might be a bit crap at this, but we'll give it a go.
That's all right. So it's just something to probably engage the audience as well. So if they're watching this, maybe they can guess before you say it. Power. Hamish.
Explosive.
Obvious one. Yeah, I kind of thought Peltz would say the same thing if I asked him first. Peltz?
No, I've got a different one. Understated.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's nice. I like that one. That's a good one. Oh, close contact. So how are you in close contact situations or clinches? Peltzman?
Comfortable.
Hamish?
Aggressive. I can be aggressive, but I can also be comfortable. But
there you go. So if these two,
but I'll go with aggressive. Yeah,
I know. Fair enough. So now we know that when these two clinch on the fight night, Peltzman's going to hug him. Hamish is going to try and hit his skull. So there we go. We've got that assessed. Last one. We'll do one more, and then we're going to get back to the proper questions. Last one. We'll go for hunger. So hunger to get the win. So Hamish.
I don't want to give just the most average word. I'm trying to think of a really unique word. You got me on the fence here.
I'll
pull out a dictionary just for this.
I'll go again first if you like.
Yeah, go on. We'll let
Peltzman go. Yeah.
I am famished.
I'll just say I'm determined. Sorry, I'm so disappointed, but I can't say that I'm not determined because I am very determined. So
I'll be honest, Hamish. I'll be honest with you, man. Word game is my thing. So you've done well.
Thank you. I say English wasn't my strongest subject.
I mean, it wasn't for many people. And Hamish, to be honest, I thought you were just going to say hungry. So determine's a lot better than what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh wow. No, I appreciate the interaction with that though. But let's talk a little bit more serious around this because obviously it is all respect, it is all love between you two at the moment. But July 12th, that's all go out the window. You've got to put it in a bag, zip it, throw it out the window because you two both want the win. You both can't have the win. One of you has to walk out as a winner. So Peltzman, what have you seen in Hamish's fights that may give you an opening come July the 12th? Without giving too much away, obviously.
I have something. We'll be giving away a little bit of game plan.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to point out things at people, but I feel like maybe the footwork might be a tad slow. That's all I'm gonna say. He might have been working on it. Let's not get that wrong. But in terms of speed and fighting on maybe the back foot a little bit, there could be a few gaps. But that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to take too much away from Hamish. He's a good, durable fighter.
Fair enough. Hamish, what about you, brother? Because it's a little bit more difficult for you because Peltzman's only had one fight. You have had quite a few. You've had about 6 in this scene, and you've performed admirably in most, but Peltsman's only had one fight which ended in a second round TKO, so he didn't even go the distance. So you don't have much footage to cover or research on. So would you find that a little bit more difficult to try and find weakness for someone so early?
Don't get me wrong, like I've watched the fight and there is things that I like to say, but yet again, I don't want to give away too much. I would say he hasn't been tested, so we don't know what his chin capability might be like. I'm sure he's also very durable like me, but I feel like his chin hasn't actually been tested. We've only seen him give out his level of destruction. We've not seen him take destruction, take a beating. Like obviously, I've took beatings. Yeah, I guess it will just yeah. I don't know. It is tricky. Yeah, you know what? You've got me on the fence again.
No, it is hard because when you don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
much footage to go by, it is kind of hard. I have, the pleasure of watching multiple fights with you, so I can say maybe one thing, but yeah, man.
Like there is something I want to say, but I won't say it because obviously the idea is I want to win the fight, and obviously there's probably things you want to say as well about me. But then that will go, oh, okay, so I know I need to work on that, and then you can go, oh, I need to work on that. Then if you've seen that, so there is things I can say, but things I'm not going to say. But all I say is I don't think your chin's properly been tested yet. Well, obviously, without a doubt, I guarantee you probably do have a very good chin. I'm not going to discredit that. But obviously, just from what you've seen from me, like I've been punched square in the face, had a bit of a bloody nose. So yeah, that's basically all I can really say for this question. If that does the
Fair
job.
enough. No, no, no.
Inside.
Like always, you deliver with a show, Hamish. Obviously, you always deliver with a show, so it's a good answer.
Mhm.
Peltzman, I want to ask as well. As much as it is a test for your opponent, it can also be a test for yourself, isn't it, to see what your potential may be. So, do you think this fight will test you to another limit, obviously compared to your first one, that your cardio is going to be up to the standard? Your punch power, your volume, your IQ, cutting off the ring. Are all these questions in your head, and are you hoping to answer all of them when you're squared off with Hamish in that ring?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like in my first fight, it was a bit of a strange one because there wasn't really many shots coming back at me. I had a lot of time to think about what I was going to do. Whereas
Yeah.
in this situation, it's not going to be the same. There's going to be punches thrown. There's going to be brawling. There's going to be good boxing IQ. There's going to be a battle, and I think that if anything, that will elevate me. But I love it because I want to show more, and I think Hamish will bring that out of me, and that's why I was so excited for this bout. So I need somebody that's going to test me, and he will definitely do that. But I think I'm going to put the things in place that I want to put in place for the fight. I truly believe it. And like I've said this before, I actually feel like this is going to be one of the fights of the night. I think people are going to be excited for this. I think you're going to hear the crowd cheering.
I can 100% agree with that. Hence why I asked specifically to be interviewing you both, because I feel like this has Fight of the Night written all over it. As much as you both want to get the win, both of you tell me, what do you want to show to the DKM fans and the public about you as a boxer, but also you as a person? Hamish, let's start with you. What do you want to show about yourself as a fighter and as a person in that ring and after the fight as well?
The main thing I want to prove is records don't mean anything. Experience is what means something. Now, I obviously did very well in my last fight. My fight before that with Braveheart, I did terrible. I did not do what I could do. I had all the capabilities to do what I could do in my last fight with Braveheart, but I didn't do it because my mindset wasn't right on the night. I want to show people with my experience what I can do, that I can actually know how to box. If it becomes a brawl, I know how to work around that, stay compact, stay composed, and just prove to people that I've got a heart of spirit, a heart of gold, and I'm a warrior. That's what I want to. I don't want to be too cocky, but I just want to just show people that I've got a steel chin. I can take chins. I can cause damage. I can take damage. And then I can have much love and respect with my opponent afterwards and have a cold, crisp pint because I like to be humble as well. I like to be humble because humble gets you somewhere in life. I feel like being cocky gets you nowhere in life. So, yeah, just to prove people that I can punch someone and also be their best mate afterwards and then earn the people's respect. That's what I'm sort of like hoping to get out of this.
Love that answer so much. Peltsman, same question to you. What do you want to show as a boxer, but also as a human being come July the 12th?
Well, I think for me, there's a lot of expectation on what's going to happen on the night. So I want to prove that I can withstand pressure because this is a different environment to my last fight. My first fight was in an open-end sort of boxing ring outdoors. This is a closed-in situation. It's completely different to my last fight. And I just want to show improvement, really. Like, for me, it's about improving every time I get in the ring. And like Hamish said as well, I am a humble guy and I love to give people opportunities and chances. And I want to bring that to the scene. I want to show that it's actually cool to be nice to people, even if you've got to punch them in the face. Afterwards, embrace each other and show the world what we can do in the ring. Like, I just think it's just going to be fantastic, personally. Like, I think this will be a fight that I look back on and I'll be proud of, and I'll feel like it's probably going to be one of the most respectful fights that I ever fight. And I think, you know, boxing is all about respect. So that's why I love this matchup.
I love it. I love the respect between you two. Like I said, it will go out of the window, but afterwards, I know for a fact you two are just going to have a brilliant time of laughing and just having fun with this afterwards. Two more questions to wrap up. Obviously, fun one first. When you get out, obviously Hamish has mentioned a cold drink, but most importantly, what is your first choice from the bar? I know I'm nicking some of Hamish's content because he always asks what thing you're eating first. I'm asking what you're drinking first. What's the first bit of alcohol that goes down your gullet because you need it after all the war that you two are going to have. Trust me.
I think this is going to be interesting for everybody because I'm going to let you in on something. I don't drink. I've actually never been drunk in my whole life. So that's not something I do. And I recently cut out caffeine. I used to be such a heavy person for coffees and fizzy drinks and Coca-Cola. So I've cut out the caffeine. I don't drink alcohol. So I tell you what, I'll probably have an apple juice or I might just down a lot of water because it's going to get hot in there.
Okay, so news flash, Peltsman is teetotal. That's good. We know that now. He's a sober soldier. Hamish, obviously you've definitely linked with a cold one.
Well, yeah, we saw my last fight. I had a pint of Guinness ringside. Attempted to split the G, was just a little bit off. It would just be a pint of Guinness for me. I don't actually drink spirits. I'm not a big fan of spirits. If it's like a special occasion, I would say my fight will be a special occasion, but I just don't really enjoy it. Like being drunk, like gone out for mates' birthdays before. I've had a shot. I'm like, that is disgusting. That is vile. I'll just stick to the cold pint of Guinness.
Yeah.
That'll do the trick for me. Have a few pints of that. Feel a little bit tipsy. Then go and get myself a greasy kebab, and then that'll do for me. And then back to the gym the next week.
Sounds like a perfect night. Boys, all love and pleasure to have both of you on. Final question before we wrap up. How do you get the job done? Do you see a going decision? Do you see a decision that you make? Do you make a stoppage happen? Peltsman, over to you first. How do you see yourself winning this fight?
Yeah, I believe I'm going to stand on what I've been saying so far since we've had this matchup, and I still believe that I'm going to stop him. I'm not going to, like I said before, I hate predictions. I'm not going to say when it's going to be, but I just know that it's going to be a stoppage.
Hamish, your response?
We will stand toe to toe in the centre of the ring, punch the living hell out of each other. But he's got a chin, I've got a chin, so none of us will go down. We'll go to the final bell. The referee will raise my hand and happy days. Bob's your uncle, Karen's your auntie. I get the job done. That's basically what I'm going to say, really.
Nice, I love it. And the voice never lies, and I'm never going to lie to you lot now, ladies and gentlemen. These two, fight of the night, easily. These two are going to go to war. The Peltsman's already loading up his gun, ready to shoot, but the Haymaker is winding one up, and he's ready to swing. These two are going to go balls to the walls. They are not going to stop until one of them drops. Live, 12th of July, I'm going to be there supporting these two amazing warriors. DKM is back. Do not miss it. Love, peace.